Some distance away from Xiao, chaos erupted along Fungi City's defense walls. A monstrous creature, its hulking form dwarfing the stone barriers, slammed clawed fists against the fortifications with a thunderous roar. Soldiers scrambled while magicians chanted spells, their attacks barely scratching the beast's hide. The city gods stood ready on the battlements, weapons drawn, as a nearby mage shouted urgent orders. Adi, don't let them get close. Another defender, muscles straining, cried out in desperation, I can't hold on anymore. The scene shattered as a shadow blotted out the sun. Xiao Hui descended like a wrathful comet. The dragon's fiery breath engulfed the monster in an inferno, reducing it to charred flesh before its massive corpse toppled onto a nearby shop, crushing the structure completely. As system notifications congratulated Yi Xiao on slaying the elite boss, he scowled at his draconic companion. Xiao Hui, be more careful. Another shop just got destroyed. The dragon rumbled what might have been an apology. No sooner had the words left his mouth than the ground trembled with approaching footsteps. An entire wave of monsters surged toward the walls. Yi Xiao's eyes gleamed with predatory anticipation. TCH, a whole wave coming. Xiao Hui, strike first. The dragon became a blur of scales and flame, reducing monsters to ash with each sweep of its claws. Notification after notification flashed before Yi Xiao's eyes as experience poured in. Flexing his hand, he grinned. Just as I thought, killing bosses is the fastest way to level up. From his perch on a rooftop, Yi Xiao called out to Sister Tao amidst the battle below. Sister Tao, I'm counting on you to defend the West District. Xiao Hui and I are going to hunt more bosses. The woman spun toward him, face contorted in exasperation as she bisected a monster mid-turn. You brat, do you think I have 3 heads and 6 arms? I don't care. You better pay me more. Yi Xiao's chuckle carried over the din of battle. No problem. Some distance away, Yi Xiao and his dragon continued their boss hunt across the war-torn battlefield. As another monster fell to Xiao Hui's flames, a gleaming item dropped at Yi Xiao's feet. He picked it up, turning the ring in his fingers as a system notification popped up. A satisfied grin spread across his face. Not bad at all, he murmured, pocketing the rare loot. With a casual wave toward the smoking battlefield ahead, he called out, Xiao Hui, let's go find more bosses. The dragon let out an eager roar, its wings beating powerfully as it soared toward the next cluster of monsters, leaving scorched earth in its wake. Beyond the city walls, pandemonium reigned as civilians fled through monster-infested streets. Run! Oh no, I don't want to die, screamed one man as claws tore through his companions. A young girl collapsed, prompting a bloodied swordsman to turn back in horror. Little sister, wake up. How am I supposed to live without you? Nearby, another survivor raised his weapon with desperate resolve. Damn monsters! If I have to, I'll take you down with me. A shield-bearing warrior intercepted a killing blow meant for the group, the impact rattling his bones. Boss, I can't hold on any longer. At the rear, a bespectacled man scanned their surroundings frantically. Look for a way to escape. Those bosses are too strong. We're no match. The shield-bearer glanced back at his trembling comrades, voice raw with urgency. Boss, go. Hurry up. Take Xiaoyu and the others. I can only distract it for 5 seconds. The monster's next strike sent him flying, but even as he tumbled across the dirt, his final shout followed his fleeing friends. Bosco, don't worry about me. The glass-wearing man and his team stood frozen, watching in horror as their comrade Storm crumpled to the ground. Storm, are you okay? Storm, wake up! They cried out, their voices cracking with panic. The bespectacled leader stared at the advancing monster with widening eyes, his breath coming in short gasps. His remaining friends scrambled to drag their fallen defender to safety, but the creature was already upon them, its maw gaping wide for the killing strike. There's no hope, the leader whispered, his glasses reflecting the monster's glistening fangs. One of his teammates grabbed his arm desperately. Are we all going to die here? Then, like divine intervention, A torrent of flames engulfed the beast, reducing it to smoldering bones before their eyes. The sudden heat made them stagger back as the monster's corpse collapsed at their feet. The bespectacled man stared dumbfounded at the charred remains. Wow! The boss was defeated in a single strike. His gaze shot upward, where a gleaming green dragon circled overhead, its wings casting ominous shadows across the battlefield. Sweat trickled down the leader's face as he muttered, "Looks like a baby dragon." But his assumption shattered when a majestic creature unleashed a psychic pulse across the battlefield. Every monster in the vicinity turned as one, compelled by some unseen force to charge recklessly at the dragon. What followed wasn't a battle, it was a slaughter. Before the horde could even raise their claws, Xiao Hui's fiery breath turned them to ash, their dying screams cut short by the inferno. The group watched the carnage with awestruck expressions. This baby dragon is unbelievably strong, one member breathed. The shield-bearing warrior who'd nearly sacrificed himself earlier managed a weak smile, gazing at their draconic savior through bloodied vision. "God, did you hear my prayer?" Some distance away, Xiao waved dismissively at the scene. "Come on, Xiao Hui. Looks like there are more bosses over there." His casual remark drew the group's attention to his presence. A girl suddenly pointed, her voice trembling with recognition. "That's the great Xiao." The others whirled around, their exhaustion momentarily forgotten. "It really is the great Xiao," they echoed in reverent tones. Their bespectacled leader scrambled forward. "Xiao, wait." The renowned cultivator paused mid-step, turning with visible annoyance. "You guys, what is it?" Though his tone made it clear he wasn't interested in conversation, the group bowed deeply. "Thank you for saving us just now," the leader said sincerely. Another member added with fervent respect, "If you ever need anything, Grandmaster, we'll risk our lives to repay this debt." Xiao's lips quirked in amusement. He gestured toward the city with a lazy flick of his wrist. "The West District is relatively safer now. If you don't want to keep hunting bosses, you can head there." As the group murmured their thanks, the girl whispered dreamily to her companions, "Xiao is so cool." One of her friends chuckled. "If I were a woman, I'd definitely have his children." She gave him a deadpan look. "You're way too ugly for that." Their leader clapped his hands, snapping them out of their reverie. Okay, enough talking. Pick up the gear and items. We're heading to the West District." Meanwhile, Xiao was already moving toward the next cluster of monsters, watching as Xiao Hui reduced another wave to cinders. "Killing these common monsters is just a waste of time, Xiao Hui," he remarked, though the dragon continued its relentless assault, bathing the battlefield in cleansing fire. Xiao's gaze swept across the burning cityscape, flames licking at the night sky like hungry serpents. The acrid scent of smoke stung his nostrils as he tightened his grip on his weapon. "Come on, Xiao Hui," he muttered, his voice cutting through the chaos. "We should head to the city gates. That's the real battlefield of this strange invasion." The dragon gave a rumbling growl of agreement as they turned toward the heart of the inferno. The scene shifted to the smoke-choked streets where the rescued group staggered through the aftermath. The bespectacled leader wiped soot from his glasses, surveying the relatively intact West District. Just like the great Xiao said, "This area is much safer." But the girl beside him wasn't listening. Her wide eyes reflected the dancing flames as sweat traced lines through the grime on her face. "If it's safe here," she whispered, "then why is the great Xiao still fighting outside the city? Could he really be hunting bosses to level up?" Her question hung in the air as she suddenly stiffened, pointing toward a glowing board in the distance. "Look, Xiao leveled up again." The group turned as one, their leader's glasses nearly slipping off his nose when he saw the ranking display. At the very top, Xiao's name blazed brighter than the surrounding fires, the numbers beside it now reading. "W what? 35? The leader stammered, mopping sweat from his brow. Just yesterday, he was level 31. How many bosses did this man slaughter to... A deafening roar from above cut him off mid-sentence. The group barely had time to look up before a meteorite streaked across the sky, its flaming tail painting the smoke crimson. It struck with earth-shaking force somewhere near the main gates, the impact tremor making them all stumble. "What in the—" the girls shrieked, bracing against a collapsing wall. Their leader's glasses reflected the growing fireball as he whispered hoarsely. That came from the direction of the main city gate. Through the billowing smoke, they could just make out the crater's outline. The meteorite had landed squarely amidst the city's central buildings, its ominous glow pulsing like a diseased heartbeat. Alright, that's all for this chapter. Hope you enjoyed following Yi Zhao's battles today. Just wanted to say thanks for watching, and if you're liking the series, hitting subscribe really helps me out. You can also join the membership if you want to support the channel even more. Right now, all videos are public, but I might do some members-only content in the future. I know some of you mentioned the uploads were coming late before. I try to get this one out quicker. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.